Hi, third grade. We're going to be doing lesson 104 today for our math instructional video, and I'm excited because I have some really non-traditional manipulatives that I'm going to be using today. You can probably guess after we go over the objectives what I'm going to be using instead of just the whiteboard today. But you'll have to wait a little bit to see. So our lesson 104 is on changing improper fractions to mixed numbers, and the objective is convert improper fractions to whole or mixed numbers. This is going to have a lot of overlap with a bunch of our fraction power-ups that we've been doing. And also with lesson 89. Lesson 89 was on improper fractions and mixed numbers. In lesson 89, they used another term for improper fraction. They called them top-heavy fractions. And that just meant that the top number, the numerator, was larger than the bottom number or the denominator. So this is the worksheet that goes along with lesson 104, changing improper fractions to whole or mixed numbers. And it says, to write an improper fraction as a mixed number, first divide the numerator, top number, by the denominator. The remainder can be written as the numerator of a fraction with the same denominator as the improper fraction. Those are a lot of words, but we're going to illustrate it, so don't get too concerned about it. So the example is 13 over 3, 13 thirds. So that's the top heavy or the improper fraction. The numerator is larger than the denominator. They want that written as a mixed number. So they illustrated to find the number. They did 13 divided by 3. The closest that they could get was 4. 4 times 3 is 12. So 13 minus 12 would have a remainder of 1. So it would be 4 remainder 1, or 4 and 1 over 3, so 1/3. So 4 and 1/3. The denominator never changes because we're not getting that fancy yet in third grade. You'll see some of that where denominators are going to be different in fourth grade. They also used a pictorial model to show that. So they counted out thirds until they got to 13. They chose circles, but every single circle had to be divided into thirds. So they had one that colored in all 3. So that would be 1, 2, 3 thirds, 4, 5, 6 thirds, 7, 8, 9 thirds, 10, 11, 12 thirds, and then one more third to be 13 thirds. 4 of them got colored in completely. So it's 4, and 1 out of the 3 on that last one got colored in. So it's 4 and 1/3. We're going to illustrate that as an example. So yesterday, well, it would have been Friday that the video aired, but it was yesterday for me when I was making the video. And I said, all this talk about fractions is making me super hungry for pizza because I love to use pizza as an example when we're doing fractions. And you guys know pizza is my spirit animal. So I like all sorts of kinds of pizza. Yesterday, I made for lunch while I was recording our video on fractions equal to 1 and fractions equal to 1/2. I made a frozen cheese pizza, and I had predicted 4 or 5 slices for lunch because I was super hungry. I did end up eating 4, but then I went back later and I had 2 more for a snack. So I still have 2 pieces of pizza left over. I'm going to eat them for lunch after this video is done, and probably some fruit. But let's say that, I say, you know what, I don't want to have to get some fruit out and be healthy. I don't want to get out some carrot sticks or some pickles or whatnot. I'm going to make another pizza because that wasn't enough pizza for me. So I'm going to eat more than 2 pieces for lunch. So let's say that I want to put another piece of pizza in the oven. So I get out another frozen cheese pizza. Now, this is not an ad. I'm not officially sponsoring this product, but this is from the volleyball fundraiser for Wisco High School. They are my favorite. I love all sorts of pizza. Normally, I love lots of toppings, but if I want a frozen pizza, this is like the best cheese pizza ever. Like, there's so much cheese on it. There's 2 different kinds of cheese. The cheese is so stringy when you cut it and you bite into it. I love this pizza. I always buy like a year's supply when they have that fundraiser in the fall. So if you know volleyball players at Wisco, when fall comes around, be like, let me know when the pizza sale's coming up, because Miss Yeager says it's the best pizza. So I usually cut my pizza into 8s. So when I'm cutting my pizza, I've got a marker here. There's plastic on here, so don't worry. I'm not like putting ink into my pizza that I'm going to eat later. So I usually cut it down the middle. Got to trace that a little bit more because this is, it's frozen. So it's a little bit, there's ice on it. It's a little bit wet. And then I usually cut it across in the middle, like in half the other way. So now I've got a pizza that's cut into fourths. Then I usually go down the middle diagonally, both directions. So I make kind of like a plus sign and then like an X. Hazel heard me. She's like sitting under my feet right now because she's like, are you making food, Mom? Let me in on this, please. So now I've got a pizza that is cut into 8 slices. If I were to cook this and then cut it, that's how I would cut it. So I cut it like a plus sign and then an X in there. Now, let's say after I reheat this, I make this pizza and I eat the 2 pieces that I have left over from yesterday. I eat all of these. So I'm eating, got 3 so far that I shaded in. It doesn't show up that great, but 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Maybe if I would have gotten another color marker, I should have thought ahead, but I'm hungry. I haven't eaten lunch yet. So my brain cells are not fully functioning. They're not, they're undernourished. So I had 8 slices on this pizza. Plus my 2 leftovers. So how many slices of pizza did I eat? I ate 8 plus 2, and they were cut into eighths, right? So I ate 10 eighths. And if I was going to divide these, I would take if I said I'm going to eat 10 slices of pizza, but I know I'm going to cut my pizza into 8 slices, I would do 8 divided or 10 divided by 8. 8 can only go into 10 one time. I could right away put an 8 over here because I know my denominator is going to stay the same. 10 minus 8 is 2. My remainder would be 2, but instead of having 1 remainder 2, like 1 pizza with 2 pieces left over, I'm going to say I ate 1 2/8 of a pizza. So on your worksheet, they give you options to solve this 2 different ways. They say write each improper fraction as a mixed number and then shade the circles to represent the mixed number. Now, we're going to have to make some adjustments because not everybody opted for a paper packet. Some of you picked up paper packets at school. Some of you used the PDF that was sent to the group page and you printed off your own packets because you like to work with paper and pencil. I'd be the same way. Some of you are doing this completely electronically. So the only way for you to do this worksheet is to enter the answers on the Google form that's uploaded to the classroom. And in that case, you will see a box on the top of the line and a box below the line. Cheat code. Your numerator can get written your denominator can be written right away on the bottom. So if this is 8/3, I can right away before I even solve it, put a 3 in the bottom box. 14/4, I can right away put a 4 down in that bottom box. 9/2, I can put a 2 right away in that bottom box. You are going to need to do the part where you were typing in the fraction and the mixed number. So you will see that there will be a larger tall box for your whole number and then a box on top and a box below. You can color these in, but you can't color them in on the Google sheet. They're on the Google form. There's no way to do that. If there is, I'm not smart enough to know how to make that possible on your worksheet if you're doing electronically. So this part is going to be something that we count as extra credit. If we were doing this in class with paper and pencil for everybody, you would be getting 10 points for this worksheet, 1 for doing it correctly when you're writing the mixed number, 1 for coloring it in correctly in the pictorial models. The pictorial models are going to be extra credit. So if you do this by hand and you upload a PDF of the worksheet, you'll get extra credit. If you enter your answers electronically, but you want to still upload a PDF of you coloring in these pictorial models, you can also do that. Or if you are somebody who did not print this worksheet off and you don't have access to a printer at home, but you want that extra credit, you can fill this out electronically. And then you could, on a separate piece of paper, you could just write down a number 1 and then draw this out yourself, draw 3 circles cut into thirds, and then color it in correctly and upload that as well if you wanted to get the extra credit, but you don't have a paper copy of this worksheet or access to print it off on your own. So they want you to do it with pictorial models and with the mixed number. The pictorial model part will be extra credit. I like how they did pizza for all of this. I'm starting to think maybe I do want to cook that other one, but got to ration my pizzas I only bought for until next fall when the volleyball players put those back up. So this will be uploading on Monday. It's going to be due on Sunday evening. I changed all the due dates on your math worksheets to Sundays because I know weekends are kind of irrelevant now. We're home all the time, and maybe the weekend is the easiest time for you to be getting work done. Normally, we don't do homework on Fridays. We use Fridays for assessments so you can relax and recharge on the weekend. Maybe you're doing that during the week while other people are needing the devices in your home. Maybe the weekends are when it's your turn to have access to a computer or a tablet or a phone. Maybe that's when you have people around to help you because they're not busy with the work they were doing at home during the week. So this actually is going to be due on Sunday instead of on Fridays like the past assignments have been. So we will do lesson 105 tomorrow.